A dusty vicious resurfaces online showing a ponytail giant crumpling beneath a shirt-ripping titan. 8 million viewers hit rewind, desperate to learn what happened when Steven Seagal challenged Beyond the Lookout Yeung. What they saw left them speechless. The clip lasts 37 seconds, grainy, badly lit with the unmistakable industrial hum of a film studio in the background. But what it captures is nothing short of seismic. It's July 1990 and the sprawling stages of Shepperton Studios echo with the controlled chaos of a major Hollywood production. Double Impact, Jean-Claude Van Damme's ambitious twin brother thriller that will cement his action star status, is in full swing. The morning heat already shimmers off the Klieg lights when Steven Seagal strolls onto stage 7. Fresh from promoting Hard to Kill and radiating the cocky confidence of a man who's just proven Aikido can sell movie tickets. That's not real fighting, Seagal announces loudly, watching a choreographed sequence between Van Damme and his hulking co-star Bolo Yeung. His voice carries across the soundstage, cutting through the buzz of crew activity. Real Aikido would end this in seconds. Bolo Yeung doesn't react immediately. At 44, the former three-time Mr. Hong Kong bodybuilding champion has learned to measure his words as carefully as his legendary 19-inch biceps. He's been in this business long enough, 17 years since Enter the Dragon made him a household name, to recognize when someone is fishing for a reaction. The massive Chinese-Canadian actor simply continues his methodical warm-up routine, slow Tai Chi movements that seem almost meditative against the backdrop of cables, cameras, and controlled chaos. Steven, my friend, Jean-Claude Van Damme interjects with that familiar Belgian accent, sensing the testosterone thickening in the air. Perhaps we save the real fighting for after lunch, yes? The muscles from Brussels grins, but there's genuine concern behind his eyes. He's worked with both men before and knows their reputations extend far beyond the silver screen. But Seagal, towering at 6 feet 4 inches in his signature black outfit, isn't backing down. His credentials are legitimate and well-documented. 7th Dan Aikido master, the first non-Japanese to operate a dojo in Osaka, and a man who spent over a decade in Japan learning from the source. I'm not talking about movie fighting, he clarifies, his voice carrying that peculiar mix of California casualness and martial arts gravitas. I'm talking about what happens when technique meets power. Director Sheldon Lettich, a former Marine who's seen his share of real combat, recognizes the shift in atmosphere. The crew has gone quiet, that particular kind of silence that precedes something memorable. Assistant cameraman Danny Walsh keeps his Betacam rolling. They're supposed to be capturing behind-the-scenes footage for the EPK anyway, and this is about to become the most compelling B-roll in cinema history. Light contact only, Bolo finally speaks, his English tinged with the Cantonese accent that's become his trademark. Like dance partners, yes? What begins as a respectful demonstration quickly transforms into something far more serious. The two men circle each other on the polished studio floor. Their movements create an electric tension that has the entire crew unconsciously holding their breath. Seagal strikes first, not physically but verbally. Wing Chun is impressive for demonstrations, he says, his tone patronizing as he adjusts his stance. But those 1-inch punches, pure camera magic. Real combat requires distance, leverage, proper mai. He gestures dismissively at Bolo's compact frame. Size matters when technique is equal. Bolo's response is barely audible, but it carries across the sound stage like a whisper in a cathedral. We shall see. The first exchange happens so quickly that several crew members miss it entirely. Seagal, confident in his reputation, attempts a classic kotegeshi, the wrist-turning technique that's been his signature move in 3 consecutive films. His long fingers wrap around Bolo's massive forearm, seeking the leverage point that should send his opponent tumbling. Instead, Bolo absorbs the technique like a tree root drinking rainwater. His 275 pounds frame, built through decades of serious powerlifting, simply refuses to be moved. The wrist lock that should have been decisive becomes nothing more than an awkward grip. Before Seagal can adjust, Bolo drives his free hand forward in what appears to be a gentle chest bump. The impact sends Seagal staggering backward 3 full steps. Van Damme's eyebrows shoot up. This isn't the choreographed dance they all expected. Danny Walsh, the assistant cameraman, instinctively zooms in, his professional instincts overriding any concerns about workplace liability. Impressive, Seagal admits, but there's steel creeping into his voice. The respectful demonstration is morphing into something else entirely. A test of reputation, of philosophy, of pride. Let's try something with more commitment. The second exchange reveals the fundamental difference between their approaches. Seagal flows into an Irimi Nage, the entering throw that should use an opponent's momentum against them. It's textbook Aikido, elegant, efficient, devastating when executed properly. But as he pivots, his back knee catches the edge of a dolly track, disrupting his timing by a crucial split second. Bio doesn't waste the opening. His palm heel strike, delivered with the explosive power that made him a bodybuilding champion, drives into Seagal's sternum like a piston. The sound, a sharp thwack that echoes off the studio walls, makes several grips wince in sympathy. "Ouch," mutters stunt coordinator Charlie Pickerney, a man who's orchestrated thousands of fake fights. "Should we keep rolling?" Director Sheldon Lettich whispers, his Marine Corps instincts recognizing something historic unfolding. This isn't about movies anymore. This is about truth captured in real time on 35mm film. The atmosphere on set has completely transformed. What started as casual curiosity has become something approaching reverence. Even the catering staff has stopped their setup to watch. Everyone understands they're witnessing something that will be talked about for decades, if anyone is allowed to talk about it at all. Seagal's breathing has changed. The easy confidence from his entrance is gone, replaced by the sharp focus of a man who realizes his reputation is on the line. Sweat beads on his forehead despite the studio's air conditioning. Bio, meanwhile, remains almost eerily calm, his movements retaining that Tai Chi fluidity even as the intensity escalates. "Ready for the next demonstration?" Bio asks quietly, his tone devoid of mockery but somehow more devastating because of it. The question hangs in the air like a challenge issued by fate itself. The final exchange begins with Seagal's desperation. Gone is the measured confidence of his entrance. What remains is a man whose carefully cultivated mystique is crumbling in real time before a room full of witnesses. He launches into a combination that would look devastating on film. A high elbow strike followed by a spinning heel kick that has worked beautifully in his last 3 movies. Bio moves like water around stone. The elbow whistles through empty air as Biolo sidesteps with an economy of motion that seems to defy his massive frame. The heel kick follows, and for a moment it looks like Seagal might connect, until Bolo's hand snaps up, catching the actor's ankle with the casual efficiency of someone swatting a fly. What happens next occurs in slow motion for everyone watching, yet unfolds with the brutal speed of real combat. Bolo's counterattack is a masterclass in applied physics. His rear elbow, delivered with the precision of someone who spent decades perfecting his craft, drives into Seagal's jaw with surgical accuracy. The sharp crack makes several crew members instinctively step backward. Seagal's head snaps to the side, his trademark ponytail whipping like a flag in a hurricane. But Bio isn't finished. Before the taller man can recover, before he can even process what's happening, Biolo plants his feet and unleashes what practitioners call the iron wall technique. Both palms, backed by 275 pounds of disciplined muscle, slam into Seagal's chest simultaneously. The impact is devastating, not just because of the force, but because of the perfect timing. Seagal is caught mid-recovery. His weight distributed poorly, his guard completely down. The effect is immediate and catastrophic. Seagal's feet leave the ground. For a surreal moment, the 6 feet 4 inches action star is airborne, his black outfit billowing around him like the wings of a broken bird. He crashes backward with an involuntary grunt of pain and surprise. The silence that follows is deafening. His lip is split. A thin line of blood trickles down his chin. One of his hands grips his ribs, and when he tries to sit up, a barely audible groan escapes his lips. "Stop," he manages to whisper. The word is carried by the sensitive boom mics positioned around the set. It's not loud, but in the absolute silence of the soundstage, it might as well be a shout. "I stop." It's the only tap-out he'll ever concede on film. Biolo stands over the wreckage, his massive chest barely rising and falling any faster than before. His breathing remains controlled, meditative. He looks down at Seagal with something that might be concern, but certainly isn't triumph. "You fought with honor," Bolo says quietly, extending a hand to help the fallen actor to his feet. It's a gesture of respect that somehow makes the defeat even more complete. Around them, the crew remains frozen in various states of shock and awe. Danny Walsh's camera continues rolling, capturing every moment of this unprecedented reversal of fortune. Jean-Claude Van Damme's mouth hangs open, his usual quips completely absent. Director Sheldon Lettich stares like a man who's just witnessed a small miracle. The entire encounter has lasted less than 90 seconds, but those 90 seconds have shattered every assumption about Hollywood tough guys and real-world consequences. The man who built his career on being an unstoppable force has just met an immovable object, and lost decisively. As Seagal struggles to his feet, pride battling against the sting of pain etched across his face, everyone in the room knows they've just witnessed a moment destined to remain absent from any polished behind-the-scenes documentary. It's the kind of raw, unfiltered reality that Hollywood often spends millions trying to fabricate. Within minutes, the studio medic arrives, summoned by a frantic production assistant who had seen the entire incident unfold. Dr. Margaret Phillips, a seasoned professional from countless film sets, has treated everything from minor scratches to life-threatening stunt injuries. Yet the sight of Steven Seagal casually dabbing blood from his split lip was a scene unlike anything she'd encountered before. "I'm fine," Seagal insists through gritted teeth, waving away her approach. But his left hand remains pressed against his ribs. And when he tries to stand without assistance, a barely concealed wince betrays the extent of his discomfort. "Just need a moment." The real drama, however, unfolds not around the injured actor, but around the cameras that captured every devastating second. "Kill the footage," Seagal demands. His voice carries the authority of someone accustomed to getting his way. "All of it. Now." His eyes scan the crew with the intensity of a man whose carefully constructed image has just been obliterated in front of dozens of witnesses. This was a private demonstration, nothing more. Director Sheldon Lettich nods grimly, understanding the implications. A behind-the-scenes clip of Steven Seagal, the man who's built his career on being an unstoppable force, getting decisively defeated by a co-star could destroy more than just one man's reputation. It could damage the entire action genre's credibility. But Danny Walsh, the assistant cameraman, has already made his choice. While the official cameras are powered down and their footage marked for destruction, the duplicate VHS cassette he recorded slips quietly into his equipment bag. Later, in the privacy of his cramped London flat, he'll label it innocuously: Van Damme Twin Fight Alt. Take 3. Within hours, non-disclosure agreements circulate among the crew like wildfire. The language is explicit and the financial penalties severe. Everyone who witnessed the encounter signs, from the director down to the craft services assistant who happened to be refilling the coffee station when Seagal went flying. But whispers have a way of escaping even the tightest legal constraints. 6 months later, Inside Kung Fu magazine runs a cryptic blind item about a Western action star who learned humility overseas during a recent film production. The details are vague enough to avoid lawsuits, but specific enough that industry insiders begin connecting dots. Years pass and the story fades into obscurity, becoming little more than a footnote in Hollywood lore. Then in 2019, Danny Walsh passes away, remembered as a modest man who takes his greatest secret to the grave. His niece, clearing out his cluttered Bermondsey flat, discovers boxes of unmarked VHS tapes among decades of accumulated film memorabilia. Most contain mundane behind-the-scenes footage, but one cassette labeled Van Damme Twin Fight Alt. Take 3-inch catches the attention of a memorabilia blogger she's hired to appraise the collection. The digitized footage hits a niche martial arts forum in March 2020. Uploaded with the innocuous title, Old Film Set Footage, Real or Choreographed? Within hours, the thread explodes. Frame-by-frame analysis begins immediately. Fight historians recognize Shepperton's distinctive Stage 7 layout. The film grain matches 1990s Betacam technology perfectly. When the clip migrates to YouTube, it goes viral overnight. Seagal be on the lookout, trends globally before legal takedown notices kill the original upload. But the internet never forgets, and the footage has already been downloaded thousands of times. Soon, creative editors begin having fun with the historical footage. The grainy studio background gets digitally replaced with everything from a WWE WrestleMania stage to an underground cage-fighting arena in Bangkok. One popular edit places the confrontation in the Colosseum, complete with cheering Roman crowds. Another superimposes a modern UFC octagon, adding Joe Rogan's commentary track over the original audio. MMA podcasters dissect every frame, praising Bolo's textbook footwork and devastating counter-timing. Professional fighters weigh in on social media, with several noting how Bolo's iron wall technique demonstrates perfect weight transfer and hip rotation. What happened when Steven Seagal challenged Beyond the Lookout Yeung didn't go Seagal's way. The truth, as it often does, proved more compelling than any script Hollywood could have written. What do you think happens when action stars face real-world challenges outside their controlled movie environments? If you enjoyed uncovering this hidden piece of cinema history, make sure to subscribe for more shocking revelations from behind the scenes. Catch you in the next one.